Hey everyone, and welcome to another Pathfinder Adventure card game campaign setup. So I've already played a campaign with the character Amotep, and I have finished a campaign with the character Al-Hazra, so now it's time for a campaign with Drelm. And of course, when I play a solitary campaign, I want it to be challenging. Amotep and Al-Hazra, pretty much so. But with Drelm, I really think Drelm is pretty OP. He's pretty powerful. He's got a lot going for it. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I'm thinking I'm going to change for this campaign scenario, or this entire campaign, and you can give me your thoughts too. The first major change is that when I play my solitary campaign, the Blessings deck is 10 cards. Well, for this campaign, I'm going to randomly be inserting one curse card in the Blessings deck to make it a little more challenging. So if I draw a curse from the Blessings deck, then Drelm will encounter that. So for the basic level, Curse of Poisoning is going to be in the Blessings deck. In the level 1, I'm going to replace Curse of Poisoning with the Curse of Vulnerability. Level 2 is going to have a Curse of Daybane in the Blessings deck. We're going to have Curse of Ravenous in campaign 2, and in campaign 3 we got that. Actually that was kind of wrong there. Basic, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. Okay, so we're going to have some curses popping up with more frequency in this campaign, because I think Drelm can handle it. Now, talking about like this campaign, let's get over here. Here's what I was working on this morning. Get this all straight on. There we go. So this, what you're seeing, are what I consider the hardest, most difficult locations in Pathfinder Adventure card game. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to break them down individually, one by one, and you can help me out. What I want to do, so as you can see from that last shot that I had, let me move all these cards out of here. Let's look at this card. So Precious Mine. Precious Mine, why is this, let's zoom in a little bit, why is this such a difficult location? Well, it says if a Bane you encounter has the Constitution has the Construction trait. Oh, I'm sorry, the Construct trait. Third time's the charm. The Bane's difficulty is increased by 1d6. So for this campaign, what it's going to be a total of 7 levels, and in each level, I'm going to repeat or revisit each location. So it's a selection of what are these 6 locations am I going to keep for the scenario. So for example, let's go switch over to this one. Every scenario or every level is going to start at the Glass Pavilion, right? So at the Glass Pavilion, at this location, at the start of your turn, examine the top card of your location deck. So that's where every level is going to start. It's kind of like in the city, Drelm's regrouping. He's trying to get to the Sky Pharaoh's tomb, and he's trying to, of course, defeat the Sky Pharaoh. And he's going to be slowly building up. He's going to, not only is he going to start every level at the Glass Pavilion, but he's going to end every level at the Sky Pharaoh's throne. Because every level, there's going to be different villains at the Sky Pharaoh's throne. Like, for example, maybe at level 1, there's going to be Amwadjet, and then in level 2, there might be the Forgotten Pharaoh. And what's cool about this location is that the difficulty of your check against Banes that have the Mummy trait is increased by 4. Well, guess what? These are all mummies. So maybe level 3 will have the Devoted General, and then this guy, and then this guy. Oh, well, he will, obviously, Sky Pharaoh will be at the end. But we have all these great options. A little blurry there, maybe it's going too fast. Straighten up, get clearer, and there we go. This camera, I tell you. There we go, that's beautiful. Look how clear that is. But my point is that all these villains and henchmen are mummies, right? So that makes this going to be a very interesting way to end every level, by going to the Sky Pharaoh, defeating a different mummy, until finally we've built ourselves up so that we can defeat the Sky Pharaoh. So then the location, or not the location, then the question is what are the other scenarios in between? Starting at the Glass Pavilion every level, ending at the Sky Pharaoh's throne. Precious Mine is awesome. All these constructs. Look at how many different constructs we can choose from, right? We got this one, and this one. Oops, a double there. construct, right? Oh, a construct, a construct. Look at all these options, these glorious options. So I really think I want to keep this one, the precious mine, but I don't know. You tell me, should we have the precious mine in the Drelm campaign? You have the power. I really like this location, Scorched Obelisk, right? When you succeed, let's see if we can zoom in without it going totally blurry. When you succeed at a check to defeat a Bane by 4 or more, you are dealt 1d4 electricity damage. Such a powerful, annoying, dangerous location. I like it. Of course, elemental trenches. This is a good one to throw in the whole campaign too. What if every level we had to go here, right? And at this location, we have to recharge these cards. It's more annoying than dangerous, but still it has the potential to be a game changer. Okay, Ruined Temple. I might not. This is a really dangerous location depending on your character, right? Because it says here at this location, when you bury a card that has the divine trait, or when you play a card that has the divine trait, you bury it. Of course, for a character like Drelm, that's going to be deadly. You know, if I'm playing with Zedim or some other warrior, not so much. So maybe this one, maybe not. But this is kind of just the run through of what I think are the most dangerous, challenging locations in Pathfinder Adventure card game, because I want to kind of change up the whole campaign setup. Alchemical Laboratory, like this one. If you defeat a Bane by 4 or more, each character at this location is dealt 1d4 acid damage. Ouch. Well, don't want that to happen. Now let's go ahead and look at this one. So the Crypt, I'm leaning towards adding the Crypt. Why? The difficulty of checks against Banes that have the cold or undead trait is increased by 3, plus the Scenar's adventure deck number. It's going to make Banes here so much more difficult. And check out, of course, these are all, look at all these undead villains and Banes we can add, right? Undead villains, and I mean, there's just too many. Look at that. Crawling Hand, this one, this one, this one, this one. So we could have all these different, you know, villains and henchmen at the Crypt, making this a really dangerous location. I want to add the Oasis. There's only one problem. Check this out. When you would succeed at a check to defeat a Bane that invokes the acid trait, re-roll the dice, take the new result. Well, can you imagine, you know, of course there's the acid pool, but can you imagine, where is he? He's in here somewhere. I know he's in here. What? It's the fish guy. There he is. So this guy. Can you imagine going to the Oasis and meeting this guy? Because then you'd have to re-roll all of your combat checks, right? That would just be ridiculous. Ridiculously challenging and difficult. So I want to put the Oasis in, but the only problem is that there's only, in the whole Mummy's Mask campaign, there's only like 3 villains or henchmen that have the acid trait. This guy, and then this ghost lady, right? So, come on, Pathfinder Adventure card game. Where are the more heroes and or henchmen and villains with the acid trait? And I do want to keep this, you know, just using Mummy's Mask cards for now. I mean, maybe later. So maybe the Oasis I'll just have to revisit some other time. Alright, and then the final location, which I think is the most challenging, is the Earthworks. I mean, check this out. On your check that has the electricity trait, remove any 1 die. Well, come on, that's awesome. Because check this out. You're fighting a Thundercloud of set, you gotta remove a die. Fighting this guy, gotta remove a die. This guy, remove a die. This guy, gotta remove a die. This one, remove a die. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's cool. I mean, there are 7 levels, and we have 5 henchmen villains with the electricity trait. So it'd be really cool if there were more, but there aren't. So I am leaning towards using the Earthworks. We might, this one, the Agash, his difficulty is increased by the level. So he might be on levels, let's say like 4 and 5. And we might have like the Thundercloud of set in levels 6 and 7. Or, you know, I guess 3 and 4 and then 5 and 6 would be the way to do it. So if I were to include the Earthworks, because that would make it for a really challenging, really exciting kind of campaign. So that is the lowdown. So we're looking at the Earthworks, right? Let's get this back in focus. Focus. Earthworks. We're looking at Earthworks. We're looking at the Crypt. We're looking at the Alchemical Laboratory. We're looking at Glass Pavilion. We're looking at the Ruined Temple. We're looking at the Sky Pharaoh's Throne. We're looking at the Precious Mine. We're looking at the Oasis. So every single level of the campaign. Oh, and we're also looking at Elemental Trenches and Scorched Obelisk. So every single level of the campaign, we're going to be revisiting each of these locations, or the ones that make the final cut, because there can only be 6 of these locations out of all of these locations, out of these 1, 2, 3. Well, you get the point. So anyway, the question is which locations are going to be in the campaign? So if you feel like doing a comment in the comment section, you can let me know what's your votes. But as it is, it's definitely going to be Sky Pharaoh's Throne and the Glass Pavilion. So that leaves 4 other choices. What other 4 do you think would make for a great campaign for this guy, Drelm? And I will let you know what the campaign setup is as the campaign progresses. But it's going to be something a little new this time. It's going to be a little more challenging, a little more exciting. And the Drelm campaign will be starting soon. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching.